Remember how we talk about how we can see things in our mind's eye? I'm seeing you all in my mind's eye, and I want you to know that I miss you. I can't wait to see you. And until then, we're going to get through this, and we are going to be creative because we are creative problem solvers, right? We talk about that a lot in class, and this is a great time to be a creative problem solver. So let's do it. Okay. I'm going to show you how to make the mask that is most comfortable. It's roomy. It goes all the way under your chin, which I find more comfortable than it ending like right here. So feel free to use it, to share this video, and let's get going. First thing that you are going to need, cut out a piece that's 8 by 10 inches out of just any kind of paper. Let's see, I got my rocks so that things don't fly away. And then you can hold this piece of paper, it's called a template, on top of whatever fabric you want to be for the front of your mask. And you're going to cut around it. Second one is you're going to need a 9.5 by 10 inch sheet of paper. So what I did was I just took a regular sheet of paper and I taped two together to where it became 9.5 by 10 inches. You're going to want to keep these sheets of paper too, because if you want to make another mask, you've then got a template that you can use and reuse. Okay, so this is going to be the fabric that's going to be on the inside of my mask. All right. Let's move to the next thing. Ms. Johnson recommended newborn baby headbands. I thought that was genius. So these headbands, you can buy about 15 or 20 of them for $10 on Amazon. And all you need is one for each mask. The reason I like this the most, it's super soft and super stretchy. But you can definitely use elastic. If you have elastic and that's what you've got, then that's what you should use. If you don't have elastic, try sewing on ribbons. If you have some ribbons, you could even use thick yarn. You could use strips of more fabric to make ties. Next thing, a coffee filter. If you don't have a coffee filter, then you can put something else in your mask that can act like a filter, like another piece of fabric. So instead of 2 layers of fabric, you'll have 3 layers of fabric. Last thing here, wire. So I found this wire in our garage. If you can find wire, I think that wire works better than twisty ties or a doubled up pipe cleaner. The reason why is that if you're able to find wire, it just is a bit stronger. It stays kind of around your nose and the top part of your face a lot better. So I took the piece of fabric that was for the inside of the mask, just like this, and I am going to just fold it like that. And then you don't even have to do this in a very exact way. And then I'm just going to cut it. I'm going to cut it into 2 pieces. You'll notice that when I folded it, I did not fold it in half. I folded it kind of like in thirds. So just one fold down. Okay, and then you just cut the fabric. Okay. So now you have 2 pieces of fabric. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fold over the edge a little bit here, just like that, and I'm going to sew down that, and I'm going to do the same thing for this one where I'm going to fold it and I'm going to sew. Okay, here we go. We've got our 2 pieces All right, here's that front of the mask piece of fabric. This is called the right side. This is called the wrong side because this is like the back of the fabric. So in the sewing, they call it the right side and the wrong side. You're gonna wanna put the right side of the fabric up. Then what you're gonna do is you're gonna put the right side of the fabric that you're using for the back of your mask. You are going to put it just like this, where its right sides are touching. And go ahead and cover that. All right, you'll notice that these two are overlapping, and that's because they are going to become a pocket to put your filter in later on. See, there's a master plan. All right, at this point, I am going to add some pins to my fabric. There we go. I've got my pins in, I threw them in there, and now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut this baby headband in half. Okay, my baby headband is in half. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lift up this fabric, and I'm gonna put this baby headband in here. I'm gonna let the very end go a tiny bit off the end of that corner. See how I'm lining it up with that corner, just like that. And then I'm gonna cover it up carefully so it doesn't move. And then I'm gonna put a pin through all of that baby headband or the piece of elastic or the piece of ribbon or whatever you're using stays in place. You have to sew through that corner and it's gonna wanna kind of move around. So I'm gonna put a pin there. Okay, I just put my pin in the corner. It goes through the headband. And now that headband is not gonna go anywhere. It's gonna end up getting connected down here too, but I'm not gonna worry about that at this point. Now at this point, I'm gonna take my other little baby headband or piece of elastic, whatever you're using. And I'm gonna do the same thing down here. I'm gonna go off camera and do that, and then I'll be right back. Voila, there we go. So now you can see we've got one baby headband or piece of elastic connected there and then connected there. And so at this point, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start sewing, and I'm gonna start right up here, and I'm gonna go down this edge, and then when I get to about right here, I'm gonna grab that piece of elastic and hold it there, then I'm gonna sew it to that corner, and then I'm gonna go over here, sew over that piece of elastic, go up, then I'm gonna stop when I get about right here, pull that piece of elastic to this corner, sew over it, and then sew all the way back that way. Somebody came to visit us. Okay, so right now this looks kind of like a crazy bunchy mess, but just watch. What we're gonna do is we're gonna kind of trim. You want to make sure that you do not trim any of the areas where you sewed because it'll come unraveled. But if you trim those little corners off, when you turn it inside out, it'll look a lot, the corners will be a lot better. Hello, birdie. Hello, hello. I hear you. Oh, this is kind of the fun part, is we're gonna turn it inside out. All right, so here I've got my wire. I'm making it as straight as I possibly can because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put it into my mask, and I'm gonna put it as closely as I can right next to that seam, so it's up at the very top, okay? And I am going to use my pins so that it really stays. So see, I'm putting it right up next to that seam, trying to center it as best as I can, and then kind of pushing it up towards the edge. I can feel it. And then I'm going to add some pins just to hold it in place, like right next to the wire, so that it doesn't move around. There we go. And then I'm going to get my pleats in place. And I'm going to sew it, and then I'm going to be done. Okay, so now it's time for the pleats. So I like, just to see where the pocket was, I like kind of folding that up and then back down. You want to keep that fold away from the edge there, because that's where you're going to sew, and you don't want to sew through this as well. You're going to be sewing just on the other side of that wire. And then one more pleat, just like that. I'm going to throw some pins in it so it holds. Now I've edited this segment, but it took me a lot of kind of messing around with the fabric to get the pleats the way I wanted them to be. So if that takes you some time too, you know, join the club. And then I'm gonna literally sew like a rectangle, where I'm gonna go all the way across here, down here, all the way across here, and up here. Pull it out, and then, whew, mask. All right, you can see that I went all the way through. I sewed straight through those folds that I made, because those are now pleats. I'm gonna take out my pins, and I'll show you what it looks like. So I'm about to put on my mask, but I'm gonna put my coffee filter on the inside. I have noticed I do need to cut you will need to cut the, like the top and the bottom curved part off, so that will fit. Okay, it's in there. This is actually, it seems kind of fussy to use these coffee filters, but honestly, I've done it with fabric. If you have coffee filters, it's really nice because the mask feels a lot lighter on your face than a third layer of fabric. So if you can do it, I highly recommend. Okay, here it is. You can see it goes all the way underneath. I like that a lot more. The wire bends over your face and goes all the way to the edge right there. I have found this to be way more comfortable than any of the other ones I've used, and I hope you liked the video. I hope you're getting outside safely, that you're listening to the birds chirp, that you're getting some sunshine and getting some fresh air. I know that when I get outside, I feel much better. And that's my wish for you, is to be creative and to get outside.